Hey, crypto family. Hope y'all been doing good. So today the market had a pullback, which was to be expected from the recent rise we had the past couple days. Bitcoin is pretty much going parabolic, and when it broke through that 6,000 resistance, 6,500, 7,000, and just kept going, it can only go so high before it had some type of pullback. So that's what we're seeing today. It's down 3% to $7,050. Still staying above that $7,000 level though, which is very bullish. And then most of the altcoins are down 3 to 5%, with Binance being up 6.6% to $22.61. So that's doing really good today. It could be some of the news because Binance is actually they're going to allow trading. So they're going to resume deposits and withdrawals on Tuesday from their recent hack. So that could be in part because of that and anticipation of people using the Binance coin. But again, I'm sure there's other reasons as well. And then most of the other altcoins, again, are down in the red today. So looking at Bitcoin here, we can see right now it's at $7,020. And as I mentioned in my last video, so the resistance we're looking for was around 7,300. And you can see it got up to that level, couldn't close above it, and then declined. And that was the same resistance that was on September 4th of last year. So you can see right here, September 4th, and then yesterday, the same thing happened. So right now, looking to break this $73 to $7,400 level and close above it on the daily chart. From here, the next big resistance is about 82 to 8,500. You can see that provided resistance July 29th of last year. And if we can break that, that will be very, very bullish. Then we can starting to look more towards that $10,000 level. But again, big support levels we're looking for at right now. Trying to stay above 7,000. If not, we're looking at 6,500 and then that $6,000 level. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. One thing I actually want to point out though is you can see on the bottom here. So this is shorts versus longs, and the red is the shorts, the green line is the longs. You can see shorts were declining as we're rising, but now that we had that recent dip today, shorts have actually stabilized and they're level with longs. So they're still above longs, which kind of begs the fact that shorts are starting to get confident again and possibly start, adding to their short positions, which could have another short squeeze, and it could propel us past the $7,400 level and looking to test this 82 to 8,500 resistance. So again, that is definitely possible because now shorts, if they do switch and start getting confidence again, then again, more fuel for a short squeeze. But the RSI right now is still pretty overbought, so we could still have some decline, but we'll have to see what happens and see if we can maintain this support level. Now, first article we're going to go about today is by Yahoo Finance, and it talks about consensus, happening in New York. So, as you know, consensus happens every year, and most of the time during consensus, usually during it and post consensus is when Bitcoin pumps. So last year that actually did not happen, and that was the only year. Every year previously, Bitcoin is pumped during and after consensus. Now, Bitcoin's actually started pumping before consensus, which is something new, but is definitely bullish because, as you know, a lot of people are going to be talking about that, and basically it's going to create a lot of hype. So it says, cryptocurrency entrepreneurs and investors from around the world are meeting in New York this week for one of the industry's biggest events. Consensus Conference, organized by crypto news website CoinDesk, takes place during the first 3 days of this week. So it's going to take place Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, May 13th through the 15th. The event, which is expected to draw thousands of attendees, coincides with New York Blockchain Week. So again, a lot of people are coming every year. It's more and more people, and especially with Bitcoin rising over 80% since the start of the year, then it's going to be one of the strongest asset classes so far in 2019 and a big talking point. And one of the things I want to talk about here is actually, so one JP Morgan, whose CEO, you remember Jamie Dimon, famously stated Bitcoin was a fraud, is actually announced in February that they're launching their own cryptocurrency for internal payments dubbed JPM coin. And that's funny. And they say they're doing that because of, quote, their clients have been asking for the product. So again, now they're putting it on their clients and versus them and acting like they aren't for blockchain or cryptocurrencies, which is false. And then some more stuff I want to point out is actually the companies that are supporting consensus, so the sponsors. says, as well as crypto companies, major financials such as Citibank and Fidelity have backed the event, as well as tech giants like Microsoft, IBM, Amazon Web Services, and eBay. So I want you to realize how big this is. So Fidelity, as you know, they're basically in charge of over $7 trillion in assets. And then you have tech giants like Microsoft, IBM, and Amazon Web Services. Some of the biggest companies in the world are sponsoring this event. So you can tell if you have those big companies sponsoring an event, you can be sure that there's going to be some big announcements. And possibly that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin has risen so much the past couple of days, because there is people anticipating some big announcements happening at this. Now, I'm not saying there will be, but I'm saying there could be a good chance. So definitely something to keep in mind. I'll talk about this more later on over the next couple days, what exactly happens at consensus, but I just want to bring this up, and it's definitely something to point out, when we can see Bitcoin rising as much as it has. Now, second article I want to talk about, I mentioned, is by CoinDesk, and it says, hacked crypto exchange Binance to resume deposits and withdrawals on Tuesday. So I already touched on this earlier in this video, but again, it says, Binance CZ wrote, our team is making progress and has been working through the weekend. In the past few days, we have made some significant overhauls to our system with a large number of advanced security features added and or completely re-architected. We will share details on some of the changes later. And he also says, we aim to fully resume deposits and withdrawals on Tuesday. The time will be communicated at a later stage, depending on how the testing goes. So the thing I love about CZ, the CEO of Binance, is that he's so transparent. I mean, everything, basically, he always documents on Twitter. He documents, basically, as soon as the hack happened, then he announced it. He had an AMA a couple hours later, telling everyone what exactly is going on. So any great company is very transparent with their clients, and that's why Binance has become so successful, and why I like CZ is because he's very open, but he's also very smart in the way that he does things. He doesn't just do the first thing that everyone wants. People were talking about actually doing a reorg for Binance, and CZ said we'll consider that, but again, he decided against that, which is good, because that would create a lot of turmoil, basically in the mining of Bitcoin and just basically who has control. So it would have been a lot of problems and just big headaches for everyone. So they're definitely a smart company, and they are listening to their customers, but making sure they are safe as well. So that's something that's definitely good, and I think that's spreading positively throughout the crypto space. And last but not least, little different topic. It's about cryptocurrency investors granted $75.8 million by U.S. court in a cyber theft case. So basically what happened is this 22-year-old, or this guy, Michael Turpin, had earlier filed a case against AT&T for negligence, which led to the cryptocurrency theft worth $24 million in 2017. Basically what happened is Michael was the victim of a crime where a hacker basically, you could say, cloned his SIM card or was able to hack in, and just calling AT&T reps and basically having them transfer the number over to another SIM card. And then the hacker was able to get into Michael's authenticator, and just using his phone, because the hacker had a copy of a SIM card, was able to get into his cryptocurrency account and withdraw basically all the cryptocurrency that he had in there, and which was worth $24 million. So you can imagine, how mad Michael was once he found this out. And basically AT&T, the agents who the hacker was talking to, basically just didn't really, I guess, go into too much detail, or didn't really go into too many questions, and just gave them all the information. Basically, yeah, we'll switch out your SIM card, and that was it. So the hacker was a guy named Nicholas Truglia, and he was also involved in 6 similar heists. So it says later, the court ordered the guilty to pay $75.8 million in compensation and punitive damages. 21-year-old resident orchestrated the crime, targeting high-level executives in the Bay Area. So again, they're charging this 21-year-old guy who was the hacker, and I think that's great that they are getting justice for a lot of people who were hacked, and especially holding the other companies accountable for who are also aiding in this or not providing enough security like AT&T was. So just something to keep in mind, and something I think that helps is, the more basically thieves that are caught, hopefully the less incentive they'll have to try these hacks again in the future, because they know that people will be watching them, and the government is really trying to crack down on that. So I thought that was definitely some good news. But with that, if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, thanks for watching.